Hello, my little goblins. We're back at it again, and this time we got a spicy list. This is a list I was excited to do because I seen all the new tools that Exosisters got. My goodness gracious. This deck got some pretty sexy tools. What did this deck get? Can someone tell me? First of all, you got Martha. Mommy Martha. So this card is nuts. So this card is a one-card starter. If you control no monsters or only XZ monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Special summon one Ellis from your deck. You cannot special summon monsters the turn you activate this effect except Exosister monsters. If a monster moves out of either card graveyard, you can special summon monsters. So this extra effect, is actually nuts. And the first effect is nuts too. So this is what the deck was missing. If you guys remember my old video with Exosisters, the big complaint I had is the deck was super reliant on a normal summon. You had a normal summon Stella, or you normal summon a monster, and then you had to activate packs, and then blah blah blah, yada yada yada. This solves that. Now it's gonna be a lot more like, almost like Evil Twin in the sense, not quite there, but like almost like Evil Twin in the sense of like you can have one card, Martha, and do full combo with it. And we have a lot of ways of getting to that card. So you might be asking, okay, well, you obviously want to be getting this into your hand. Well, Maxie's obvious choice, but a Martha, we have 3 packs, which can add to hand. And then we have a pot of P, which can go 6 deep to get to Martha and add it to our hand. Now, if you don't get Martha and you end up getting what I said, the boring combo, where you get like Stella or like one of the 4s and Ellis, you could still go into Martha. You just have to go into Kaspatel first, and then Kaspatel can use its effect to search a monster. You just add Martha, and then you combo off of Martha. Now, the thing is, it does lock you into Exosisters, but that's not going to be a problem because we got our new boss monster. The new boss monster, Magnifica. So this card is nuts. This card, another crazy card in the deck. So, can make 2 attacks per turn, 2800 attack, big hits. Once per turn, you can detach a material, banish 1 card your opponent controls, and then has a secondary effect. If your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you return this card, return 1 XZ monster attached to this card, return it to the extra deck, then you can special summon that monster from the extra deck using this as material. So what does that mean? That means that we can use it to banish your opponent's card, because if I read it correctly, it banishes a card. Remember, it could banish spell, trap, monster, anything. And then you can activate its secondary effect when your opponent does something, and you can go into Mikolas, right? And Mikolas will have another banish. And now on top of all that, you have a new trap. Exosister Returnia. So this card, it pay 800 life points if you have Exosistem monsters on the field. Target 1 card. Again, it's 1 card. Your opponent controls or in the graveyard. Banish it and then apply one of the following effects. Immediately XZ summon 1 Exosister. Okay, not the best effect, but this one's pretty nuts. If you XZ summon a card this turn, banish 1 card your opponent controls. So this is essentially 1 for 2. Think of it as almost a better version, like a super better version of the Sword Soul card, Blackout. Because this card banishes, and you banish 2, and you don't have to even sacrifice your monster. You just have to use the effect of Magnifica, and then you get to go into it. So pretty crazy all around, right? Now, the other effect of Martha that I didn't talk about is the secondary effect on her. So if I end up banishing my opponent's monsters with a Call by the Grave, I can activate Martha and go into one of these XZ monsters. Crazy. Like, your opponent doesn't even have to do anything. I could banish it myself, and I could go into it. Pretty dumb. That all being said, I hope you guys, we'll get in some games. We'll go over the recap. We'll talk about the deck more in length and how it performed and all that stuff. Win rates and stuff like that. Yeah, let's get into the games, and we'll see how the deck performs. Hello, we're here for game number 1, and we're playing against Costa, my buddy old pal, Costa. I don't know who this is, but they're playing Phantom Knights, and I was able to activate Shifter. It should end his turn, right? No, my opponent plays through it, and I'm going to tell you right now, I have zero clue how the hell Phantom Knights actually plays through Dimension Shifter. But I will applaud Costa because he found a way. Kind of like Drake Bell. I found a way. I found a way. He goes into double Levineer. If you guys don't know what he's about to do, he's clearly going to go into Draco Future. But actually, I thought this was insane. Like, he was actually able to go into Draco Future. My hand kind of sucks a fat cock, too. Like, my hand is actually not the best. Like, I have to top deck something crazy. Any level 4 would be good. Pot of P, not the worst. Hopefully I can find Martha off the top. Or Pax. Also, we see Pax. Just add Martha, no point in adding Pax. So we summon Martha, summon Elis. You gotta remember, Martha can only special summon if you have Elis in the deck. So I'm gonna tell you this right now ahead of time. That you should... Try to think right now. Like, you gotta remember ahead of time that you don't want to get rid of all the Elises out of your deck. So, like, try and keep at least one in the deck. I keep opening them in my opening hand for some reason. But, misplay by me? It's not a misplay. It would be a misplay if the field was different. But the misplay would be you typically don't want to be getting rid of your Martha first. Because if your opponent has something in the graveyard and you end up banishing or something like that, or he does something, like, Martha can activate off of your graveyard and your opponent's graveyard. So, but it doesn't really matter. We get rid of his board. Everything's banished. We're going into our boss monster, Magnifica, and our opponent should be butt fucked. Costa hits that grass is greener. Now, I'm going to tell you, I do misplay here. I actually think the correct play... The correct play was when he activates Grass is Greener, I think I should have activated Vados immediately. Or, bare minimum, I should have activated Magnifica. I think it ends up working out, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Because he's dumping a bunch of cards. He's clearly on, like, Phantom Knights, BA type shit. And Exosisters should have a great time versus this deck for the most part. And you're going to see why. He's going to go try to pop my card. I activate my effect here. Then I activate Vados. Here comes Vados. Magnifica is going to transform into Cospitel. So if you're wondering why I go into Cospitel, Cospitel's effect is neither player can special summon from graveyards for the rest of the turn. The thing is, he's going to be able to get a few activations off here. But the good thing is this snow he has in the graveyard, unless he activates it now, he's not going to be able to do much with it. So my card effect activates, and then Sophia activates because cards move from the graveyard to the field. So now Sophia and Irene are going to be able to activate. We're just going to lock our opponent from ever playing the game again. Okay? Sorry, Costa. We got to do it, buddy. So if you guys are wondering what this card does, this card, neither player can activate effect cards in the graveyard. So you can't even activate anything. We're going to use Mikolas here to banish Dante. And he sets 2. And then this is where the brutality comes. Since we special summon from the extra deck. We got 4 cards left. Jeez. We activate Returna. Returna, we banish a card in the back. We banish a card in the front. Ugh. Yikey, yikey. Oh, man. Now, if he's going to activate the snow, he should be active. He can't really do much. But when I summon Martha, he just needs to activate on Martha. He's fucked either way, but like he needs to activate right here. He doesn't do so, so we're able to go into Gibran. Now we go into Mafika. Now, even if he does snow, snow's effect activates on the field. I can negate it and then banish it and attack. And he's just dead. Goodbye, Costa. I assume he's like, I thought he was like Portuguese, because Costa's a Portuguese last name. So I was trying to share love to my brethren. Hello, we're back and we're playing against Momo. I'm pretty sure this is Avatar Aang's pal. We pot a P for 3. So I did this just literally to bait Ash, because Ash can actually interrupt Martha, which is actually really annoying. So instead, he ends up doing it on that. Now we can combo off. Again, you see how I always open Ellis in my hand for some reason? It's mad annoying. Because then I feel like I'm like starving over here. Alrighty, we summon Sophia. We go into Mikolas. We add Vadis because we have Returna in hand. We're gonna banish his Ash. We're just banishing it for no fucking reason at this point. We go on Magnifica, and then we set 2, and we have the Maxi. Honestly, should probably activate Maxi and upkeep, or standby phase, whatever you want to call it. But he's gonna go. He's playing the Illusion of Chaos. Very strong card, by the way. We're definitely gonna do a profile on that. I'm gonna activate Magician of Chaos. So here is a great thing. I was gonna activate Vadis, but Ash Blossom blocks Vadis too. I didn't actually. I wasn't even thinking about that. That's kind of annoying, dude. So with him activating Ash, I feel like I should have the free reign to actually use Maxi. So he's gonna bring back Dark Magician. I get to draw a card. I'm just gonna immediately banish this Dark Magician because like all his plays look like what is he doing? Like he has like no plays here. Now I get to activate Returna, banish. Fallen of Alves does nothing, and it's GG. And we could have done more. Like if he actually played that better, we still could have done a lot here to like counter a lot of his board. Like we had a lot of options there. Hello guys, we are here with game number 3, and we're playing against Mocha. Mocha. That's how I like my woman. You get it? Alright, well. He's gonna activate Moye. I'm gonna activate Maxi to this. He has no answer to this, so it's definitely going to hopefully limit his gameplay. I drew my packs, which is pretty sexy if you don't mind me. My nipples are quite hard. My nipples be aching for the bacon. He activates Yugioh, adds Blackout. We have Duster for that. He's gonna attack. He doesn't want to extend. Honestly, I feel like he's gone for the OTK. He might be afraid though. Afraid of Nibiru. Because if he does summon, he would go to 5 and then I could Nibiru him. So I'm gonna Ash his Maxi. So yeah, pretty fun. I could have used the cross out, but I didn't because I'm a fucking straight up gangster. I knew he wasn't going to sacrifice his Yugioh for anything. Because now, look how beautiful this is. I get to cross out the Ash. I used my Ash and then I cross out his Ash. Isn't that how life's supposed to work? I like to make people suffer. I'm a masochist. But we're able to add the Martha to hand. Martha's coming out. Big booty Martha. Stella comes out. So can the boys and girls tell me what our opponent did wrong here? So I summoned Stella, and I even say on stream, I'm trying to bait him for using his negate, right? So I can just fully combo. But he uses his negate, but then he banishes a card in the graveyard. Which, guess what? That activates every freaking card I have. So now, all the cards I have on the field, besides Stella, obviously, because it's negated, they're all just going to be able to transform. So, bad luck for Sword Soul there. You'd be surprised how good Exosister monsters are versus a lot of meta decks. Like, think about it. It's going to be good against Runic. It's going to be, because Runic, they move a lot of cards around in the graveyard. It's going to be good against Sword Soul because they do the same. It's going to be good against Branded. They do the same. Like, there's a lot of meta decks that they all do that. Even Sprite, the new meta deck, does the same exact thing. So he banishes card, add a card. Cartel adds a Stella. I'm going to summon this Ellis, and he's just going to concede. We're going to go for lethal. There's no way we were going to miss lethal. Going into the 20, our boss monster, tax twice, remember? 2000, 2800. But we also could have gone into the rank 4 that gives all XZ monsters 800 attack. So that would the 5600 damage would end up becoming 7200 plus another 2200. He was like super dead. So goodbye. Alrighty, guys. Our hand is looking juicy. We got the full field. Everyone's wearing the same field. Pretty sick. Same sleeve. Actually, he's not wearing the sleeves. That's sacrilege. And our opponent is playing Sprite. But I'm going to give you a little secret. If your opponent's playing pure Sprite, Dark Ruler no more absolutely rails him in the ass. Okay? Secret tech. Secret tech alert. Wee 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 woo. Yeah, we're playing against Water Dragon. Now he summons Swap. I mean, he's doing everything he's supposed to be doing. Like, he's not playing bad at all. He's playing the way he's supposed to be playing. Okay. Swap comes out. Ronin Frog comes out. Ivy Masquerena. Okay. Summons Red. Summon Ronin. This is fine. I find this a bit unnecessary, but I get why he does it, because if he uses Sprite Elf, he would bring back Carrot, and then Carrot could choose to use this to pop, and then Red could use this to pop. So I get why he did it, but I don't think it's 100% necessary. And it also makes your next follow-up play really bad, because if I wipe his whole board, now he has both his... There's a very low chance he ever gets Swap Frog in his hand again. And then, so Ronin's just off the table of coming back. So I don't know. I feel like he should have done that. So we're going to play Dark Ruler no more. Martha comes out. We play Pax. Pax adds Stella. Now, I'm going to tell you this one thing. One thing I'm going to tell you. You know what? I think I didn't do anything wrong. Because, dude, you can't anticipate your opponent. They have 2 Droll and Lockbirds in their deck. You can't anticipate they're going to have both Droll and Lockbirds in their hand. You know what? So, whatever. It is what it is. I was going to say, to play around this, I could have gone into the XZ first. But, like I said, I didn't really want to because I had the Called by the Grave. And Martha can transform on its own from my Called by. So, I don't know. That's the reason why I didn't want to. I wanted to summon Stella, then use Stella and her to go into something else. But I don't know. You can activate Effect Veiler. Kind of annoying. And for anyone wondering why I didn't search, because I'm under Droll and Lock. Okay, so I'm going to use this. I'm going to bounce back the Sprite Elf because he did banish 6 cards from his deck, and I have a feeling he probably runs at least 2 elves, and he probably kept both elves. So I'm like, he might have not kept another Gigantic Sprite, which I'm kind of hoping. So you wipe his board. He has 2 cards. We have Returna, we have Magnifica, and we have Pax. I feel like he's fucked, and he is. He quits. Hello everybody, we're here with game number 5 and we're playing against, I can't pronounce that. We're going to imperm the Stratos. I am just hoping he doesn't have follow-up. Mainly is the Vision Hero, Ferris. I'm hoping he doesn't have Ferris in hand. I maxi the Fusion Destiny. Okay. He goes into DPE, 100% fine. Now, my opponent has a few options here, right? We top deck Pax. Beautiful. We can go into Pax. Get Martha. Dude, Martha is so great. Like, dude, if you already had a lot of the Exosister cards, you are so happy this stuff came out. Your deck got so much better. It's a lot of fun, too, now. You go into Mikolas. So, I activate the search. What my opponent needed to do here is immediately go for the pop. Once I go into Mikolas, there's nothing he can do to escape my fucking banish. So he just needs to go for the pop and man up and just deal with it, right? Add Pax to hand. I summon Irene. Irene's gonna summon Ellis. Go into Gabrine. Now it's over, because now I go for the banish myself. He activates his, And now I have Gibran on the field, which is going to go for the negate. His DP's locked down, and he just wasted. He at least could have had. He could at least pop my Nicholas, is what I'm getting at. So I increased the attack points by 800 of all XZ monsters, which carries over to the new XZ monster. I could have went for more damage here, but I just didn't want to. The reason I didn't want to is because I wanted to save my banish. So now I'm going to be able to banish a card he has. I could then use this to transform into something else, and then banish another into Nicholas, pretty much. Banish another card. It pretty much he's fucked. He's fucked right here. He activates Hero Lives. I activate Vadis. He ashes my Vadis. You know how often this happens? Vadis is a great play here too, because like if you're able to go into some of these cards, you just lock him out of his graveyard. I'm gonna banish Liquid. Malicious activates to summon another Malicious. I'm gonna activate Magnifica, which we do. Here comes Magnifica. Boom. I mean, not Magnifica, Nicholas. Then we're gonna activate. So this is a big misplay that you guys have to understand with this trap. All right. The first effect of this trap allows you to target one card your opponent controls or in their graveyard, then banish it. The second ability only lets you banish a card your opponent controls. So you need to use the first effect. If you wanted to banish, because I wanted to banish, what I wanted to do was banish Denier, right? And then I wanted to use the secondary effect to banish the Militia. So now he has Denier in the graveyard. Definitely a misplay on my part. He summons Vion. I banish the Vion. Look how many cards I'm banishing. This guy has 5 cards in his banish pile. I banished 4 cards this turn. Now he's going to go into Denier. Denier grabs his card. When realistically, he would have had no plays to go into. And he still had no plays. We still won the game, but still a minor misplay. Just keep your eyes peeled for that. All right? Hello and welcome to the recap, and thank you for watching this far. Please hit subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when I'm pumping out those videos. That all being said, also join our Discord. The link is down below. Just join it. It's awesome. It's sick. You get to know when I stream and all that other stuff. Oh, by the way, I stream on Twitch. What? This guy does it all? He's the Renaissance man? Except he's fat? Okay. Let's talk about the deck, though. That's what you guys want to know about. How the deck performed. The deck performed phenomenally. I don't know the exact number, but I could, I guess, go back and count it on stream. I just don't feel like it. It was like 90+%, okay? We climbed from Plat 4 to Plat 1. We had like a 12 or 13 game win spree. I believe we had a 12 game win spree. I'm going to actually post it up here. Whatever the win spree was. You'll see it. I won't know because it's the edit. But whatever I said was correct, I think. That being said, the deck performed really well. It hits a lot of decks. It's a lot of people aren't expecting the power that comes from these cards. Vados, really good right now because it takes advantage of a lot of graveyard effects happening out there. Especially like Sprite does some stuff in the graveyard too. So it hits that a little bit. You get a lot of banishes, a lot of spot removal. So like Returnia, that's like two banishes. You got like Michaelis, another banish. Your boss monster, another banish. A lot of banishes happening overall. Now, let's talk about the weakness of the deck. Because I know you guys like hearing the strong things. I'm going to give you some realness, though. The deck's really strong, in my opinion. But it does have a weakness. And the weakness is having Pot of P at 1 means you see it a bit less often. And it definitely, like, you want to be opening Martha in your hand. Because Martha she is the creme de la creme. She is the best card that you could actually have in your opening hand because she gets everything going and she doesn't leave you vulnerable, right? Another thing this deck doesn't have is it does not have negates. So that's another thing that's very unfortunate, but it is what it is. Like, if your opponent has, like, board wipes, DR, the Dark Will No More, like, stuff like that, you're just kind of fucked. Like, let's be honest, you're kind of boned. That being said, though, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Even if your opponent Dark Rulers you, right? You can activate, if you have your back row, you can activate Vadis. Hopefully your opponent activates that, and then if you have Returnia, you can get a few banishes off. So it's not the end of the world. It just means you gotta get a little lucky with what your opponent's doing, right? But other than that, I feel like the deck's in a very good spot. I think if you have these cards, another downside of the deck is it's fairly expensive, because Pax is an ultra rare, Mikolas is an ultra rare, and since there's no, you can only get this in the Master Pack. If you haven't gotten it in the last like Secret Pack, you're gonna have to do what I did and craft all freaking 6 of these. So that's like what, 90, 180, 180 dust right there, and then you're gonna have to get these 3 Marthas from the pack and at least 2 Magnificas. Like, these are like essential. You need this card at 3. I'm sorry. So I feel like you need this card at 3. You could probably get away with 2, but I feel like in certain grind matches you're gonna have a tough time, especially if you need that last one to push you over the edge. But yeah, the deck's in a really good spot, and you might be saying, why the Shifter? Why are you running Shifter? Shifter doesn't affect the deck as much as you think. Even with Shifter played, since we never really interact with our graveyard at all, if these cards get banished, it doesn't really matter. Do you know what I mean? So Shifter actually doesn't really affect us at all. And Shifter bones a lot of decks in the format. Shifter is not the most insane against Sprite, but his Shifter will be very good against Runic, very good against Despia, very good against Sword Soul. So there's a lot of decks it does hit, and it does a very good job hitting. So that all being said, I think this toughest matchup you probably would have with this deck, I think the Sprite's going to be a little tough, because Sprite's a tough deck in general. I think Floateries will still be a I think it'll be a tough matchup, especially if they go first. Reasoning B is they don't interact really with the graveyard at all besides Strix. So it'd be kind of tough to try and locking them out of that really doesn't do much. And you banishing their cards really actually just helps them. So I don't know. I feel like those would be like relatively difficult matchups, but I'm not 100% sure. Also, Dark Ruler No More doesn't work as well when your opponent can just flip up a trap and just continue doing their play. It is what it is. Other than that, I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this deck a fat. If I did it on my performance, like, because I think I played pretty well for being as tired as I am. If I did it on my performance, I'd probably give it like a not like almost like similar level as a Sprite, because like, dude, I like stomped on people. Between playing Sprite and playing this, we went from the dredges of Plat 5, playing these shit decks, to Plat 1 in like not that many games. Like literally like 90% win rate throughout the whole time. I'd probably give it like a 9 because it feels so good right now. But I don't know. I feel like it's like a strong 8.5. But it could be a 9. It could be a 9. I'm like hesitant to give it a 9 because I've never heard it do that well in the TCG. I mean, I could be wrong. I never heard it do that well in the TCG, but dude, it felt so strong last night. I just know, like, if you end up running against certain matchups, especially decks that don't interact with the graveyard at all, you might have a tough time with that. But dude, so many decks right now interact with the graveyard. That's what I'm trying to say. On a tier list, I'm going to put this at a solid tier 2, maybe 1.5, maybe even 1. It might be a tier 1 deck. I don't know. You're hearing it here first. Or second, depending if fucking these other guys came out with it first. But the deck feels really good. That's all I'm going to say. You will not be disappointed if you craft this deck. Also, side note, you have the Exia Festival coming up. This deck is going to run rampant. I'm going to fucking steamroll that event. So, you run into me, you're going to have a rough time. Just going to tell you. Unless you teabag me and then just concede. Just concede for me. All right? Concede. Throw for content like I normally do. All right? All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And remember, let me know what you guys want to see next. I am trying to pump out a bunch of these videos for you guys so you guys have an idea of what you should be playing and stuff like that, or fun decks that maybe you didn't have an idea of, or what you wanted to build with it. So let me know. All right, goodbye.